Hello, Abigail here with the Tarotscopes for Virgo season, Aquarius sun, moon, and rising. My Aquarians, you can always check out the video link below for the astrology of Virgo season. But the important thing to really pay attention to is that this is eclipse season, and so there's a lot of chaos and shifts and changes on the horizon. This is also a really cohesive one. We don't have an eclipse on a different axis. Both these eclipses are in Pisces and Virgo. We also kind of have a little ringer of a Virgo new moon eclipse at 0 degrees, which is going to mean that the Virgo eclipse at 29 degrees is going to be quite punchy. Um, so just be aware of the intensity of that. Also, because of the way it's going to work out, we're going to have a Saturn opposition. So just log that away. End of Virgo season is going to be quite intense. Doesn't mean it's all bad. What I tell my clients and what I've experienced through eclipses is that it's literally just what is already happening gets amped up and taken to its natural end. Now, the natural end may not be something that you personally would enjoy, but it clears the way for better things. And if you have something really great coming up, then oftentimes, if it is as truly great as you think it is, it then comes to a beautiful climax and you get to really experience some really big highs. So just know that it's really big highs and really big lows. I would encourage you to check out where this is in your chart, what houses these fall in, because that'll help you get kind of a vibe check on that. Also, it's never a bad idea to get an astrology reading from whoever you feel drawn to at this time. Anyways, into the cards. Starting off, we do have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is about wounding and pain. This one's pretty graphic. Poor little kitty. So I do think there's a lot of processing happening. It makes sense with the eclipses being in Pisces, where we're dealing with a lot of the subconscious and things that happen under the surface. Makes me wonder if you aren't going to remember a past wounding, or, a lot of times our body and brain suppress, intense things that have happened to us or cruel things that people close to us have said, because in order to maintain the relationship, we have to not remember, the behavior of that person. I wonder if some of those things are going to come back to us in full force and we're going to have to face it. I don't know that this is active wounding per se, but this is dealing with wounds that have happened that have yet to be healed or fully cleaned. So just know that there's a lot of purging and cleansing and caring, especially in the beginning of Virgo season. Makes me wonder if this isn't very new moon approached. We have a square with Uranus. It's a lot about kind of observing and preparing for the things that are coming and, kind of checking in on where we are, than a lot of activation, because we're heading into that eclipse energy, which the minute we're past that new moon, we're dealing with the kind of uptick into that. Sorry, I've got like a hair or something on my nose. Pardon. Anyways, and the next card really speaks to that. We have the Eight of Wands. This is about things moving quickly and having an impact, and kind of, the swallows here. This idea of really speedy, speedy, zigzaggy movement, but with a purpose and a goal. Those little swallows aren't just flying around for funsies, although they do sometimes. A lot of times they're hunting bugs, or heading home. So things are going to speed up. If there are some things that have been blocked, they're likely going to shift during this time and move you forward on your journey. So, with the time you have leading up to the first eclipse, I would really encourage you to take some time to really get connected with your desires and with, what you want, so that when the eclipse energy takes off, you have some of that intention and some of your dreams infused into the energy. Because once the eclipses take off, you really don't have a whole lot of control over them, like most things in the universe. So just use your time wisely leading up to the eclipses. I'm always kind of here nor there with manifesting. I encourage you to manifest how you would like to feel on the other side, because the universe has a unique way of handling things, especially in eclipses. And you don't want to really set up expectations for something and be disappointed, not because the thing is bad, but because the thing wasn't what you expected. So manifest things like happiness or joy or feeling cared for or held, things that can come to you in many ways that allow for a multitude of needs to be met, rather than kind of focusing on one or two really physical things. And that's just my advice for this. Then we do have the Queen of Swords. It really ties back to the kind of like getting into your mind and into your body and into your emotional state, and really getting clear on places where you need things to shift and change. Just be ready for once you identify those things, for them to shift and change and start preparing yourself to move into that space. Um, a lot of the work of manifesting is actually preparing yourself for that thing to come true rather than just constantly putting the energy out. Because once the energy is out there, it's out there. And now you need to ready yourself to receive the thing that you want so that it falls in a place where it receives all the attention and celebration it deserves. So, really listen to yourself and your body at this time if you have a little more downtime or if you have some space. Um, I would suggest breathing exercises, meditation, just not to clear the mind, but to make space for clarity. Then we do have the Wheel of Fortune. Anything can happen. Anything is possible in this season. You've got to spin the wheel to play, though. So make sure you are spinning the wheel. Make sure you are participating in the work of the universe. Make sure you are engaging in the energies that you desire to have come towards you. A lot of times I tell people if you want a specific energy, you need to go to places where you think you'll find that energy. If you want the energy of a friendship or the energy of a romantic partner, you got to get into those areas where those people might exist. Now, maybe you don't find them there, but good example is if you want a queer partner, go to queer spaces. Doesn't mean you'll meet them there, but it means that you are bringing that energy into your life, and maybe you meet them in a more like happenstance surprise moment, but you have brought that energy in. Same with like if you want a job in a certain field, doing research on it, going into spaces where that work is prevalent. All of those things bring the energy in, and that is a great way to work with a card like the Wheel of Fortune. Um, and it can land anywhere. So be ready for anything and be excited for what's coming up. I know, especially with kind of the tenuous Three of Swords at the beginning, it can feel tense and like things might be too much for you, but also know that good things are coming. We also have this lovely Three of Wands. There are opportunities and portals all around you, and during this eclipse season, you're going to step through some. So be excited and invigorated and really intentional, not in the sense of like protected intentional, where you're like, I'm only doing this because I only want that. But intentional is in like, I want to live my days in a way that is aligned with my dreams. I want to exist in a way that is aligned with my dreams. Doesn't mean we can't be depressed. Doesn't mean we don't have really sucky days. But it means that we are anticipating good things, even if the good thing hasn't happened yet. And that is an invitation to the universe to bring those things in. I just want to be clear that I never shame people for struggling in struggly situations. There's no such thing as high and low vibrational. Um, what that is often referring to is privilege versus non-privilege. High vibrational is often comes from a place and people who already have things, and low vibrationals for the pavos. So it doesn't exist. You can be as low vibrational as you need to be and still do really magical spiritual work. We broke his joke and really struggle and have incredible spiritual power. And while you deserve safety and care and roof over your head and clothes and stuff, don't mistake that language for anything other than what it is, which is privilege versus non-privilege. There are hard days and there are days that are easier. That's about it. And then last but not least, I do love this. We do have the Trickster. It is a reminder that Uranus is stationing retrograde, that all of the planets are still shifting and changing while it feels really ungrounded, and it also feels like nothing is really getting done. Because nothing is kind of sticking right now, at least for a lot of the people I know that it's because a lot of really big things are being turned over and created and manifested into a space by the universe. So when we head into the middle of next year, we can really hit the ground running. Also, the next eclipse cycle is a fixed one. So there's a lot of opportunity for long term, especially with it being in Aquarius, long term Saturnian growth. So have faith. Know that while those eclipses will be really impactful for you, they are also an opportunity for you to really shine. And that's kind of where we're headed trajectory wide. The first Aquarius eclipse happens in 2026. So just know that that is also connected to this, and that a lot of exceptional things are coming your way. It just, as Saturn does, it just takes time. Anyways, my loves, this is my reading for you. If you like, please like and subscribe. Also, you can ask me any questions you have in my DMs, or you can pop a comment and I will answer it here. Anyways, I love you, and I will see you in a different space.